Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we're having coffee in my beautiful S mug, Savage Spring, anything I want it to be. It looks very springy to me, and we are in spring, although it has felt a lot like summer the last few days in the 90s. It's coming, and while I love the 90s a little less than I love the 80s, um, it is what happens. So I can rail against it or I can move with it. So I'm going to get to water. That's what I'm going to do. Take my dog swimming today. How are you all doing? How are you faring in these Wild West type times we are living in? It is just a little on the interesting side. Would you agree? Um, so, how do we navigate to keep ourselves in a place of balance and assuredness and peacefulness inside as much as possible? We are never always going to be just one way. I mean, how boring would that be anyway? But we will come and go. It's like the healing process in physical is never from here to healed. It is like this. And that's what life is about. We are healing generations. We are healing lifetimes of ours. It's a huge lifetime we've stepped into. And what does that look like for us right now? Well, we're designing it. What you've got in front of you is what you've been focusing on. So, what is the best way to keep yourself out of fear, out of angst, out of anxiety, out of worry, out of contentiousness, anger, reactivity? It is a constant connection. It is just a conversation because again, when we are in the aspect of fear, we are saying we know better than what is taking place and what the universe has in store. But truly, before a rebuilding process, there is always necessary a destruction process. The tower must fall. We must clean away the old in order to make room for the new. So, the overarching card and message today comes from the Sacred Forest deck, Foggy Bog, and the guidance there is patience. You know, we I remember I want patience now. The truth is, this patience time, this time of waiting for the things to occur that we desire, that we're hoping happen, uh, our timeline is different than the creators, the universe, the central sun, the great I am. And us having patience is also allowing ourselves to receive and create the healing that we came to do. And all of this healing and energy clearing and all that, if it happened all at once, we'd be like tumbling down a raging river in the leaving of the energy and then trying to find a pool where we could regroup and find ourselves again. We can't do it like that. We must do it steps at a time. And so the patience is that huge beginning structure for today's call. Then the animal guide that wanted to come through is the kingfisher. And the kingfisher says, make a point to express yourself clearly and concisely with everyone you communicate with. Take the plunge into a relationship with confidence or a project and let go of the doubt and fear because it will be successful. This is about this world that we're creating and hoping and wishing happens. My beautiful friend Christina good morning, Julia. Great morning, Susan. Spent a month about in Ecuador and saw the embodiment of what this world can move to. And she was sharing that with me yesterday. And it was such a lovely gift because, you know, I can read about quote unquote utopia, but I've never seen how this aspect can work in the world. And this group that she was with for a month created this economisia or economisia. The economy is mine. And they created basically a co-op, and everyone comes. Some weeks you give because you've received either through harvest, fishing, hunting, whatever. Some weeks you receive. And it is everyone bringing what they have. And I truly believe that the fear that we can experience about what's going to happen as this old world breaks down, as Mother Earth begins to repair herself, structures and governments are going to fall, and we are going to need to come together as small communities sharing what we have. And so my job, your job, is to keep myself in a place of balance with love, with compassion, so that when we reach those times, we can step into what the Creator has for us to offer. And that offering is of ourselves. The more we create within ourselves now, this way of being, this walking with love and compassion, the more this transition phase can be gentler. The more fear and blame and reactivity we stand in, the pricklier this change will be. It is up to us how it can be. The arrogance of believing that our action now is going to stop this forward movement, and I mean action by, railing against what is happening, it only slows us down in our growth process of moving to more peace, compassion, love that we share into the world. And so there are definitely crusaders in the world, but guard against the arrogance that fear unleashes. And the Druid Craft Tarot is the next one that wanted to come through. And the first one is the Two of Swords in reverse. And this is about, good morning, Elizabeth. The Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, Two of Wands. I'm sorry, not the Two of Swords. The holding of tension can only last so long until it is suddenly released to spectacular effect. And when we focus on all that is fearful, all that we worry about being or coming to fruition, number one, we're creating a slowdown in this process of transition, and we are keeping ourselves out of balance and out of the peace that is truly ours to hold. And we are more likely in that reactivity phase where, it's like when we learn in nursing school, we learn the difference between aggressiveness and assertiveness. And when someone who has very much been a doormat begins to exercise assertiveness, it often will come out as aggressiveness, because this all of this stuff that we want to create, we want to communicate, is built up to a level that when we actually open that door to say our truth, it comes out in a bombardment. And so we must learn to let go of the fear and the reactivity and the blame. And I can tell you, the mainstream media does not want you to let go of that. All the media, mainstream, I mean all media, all social media, Facebook, YouTube, and all of that. You know what they promote and put forth is if you're contentious and you have a lot of argument going on your page. Oh yeah, they're going to share that everywhere. So know that they are not our friends. They are not our supporters. They're the ones that want to keep us divided. A miracle can occur, a sudden change, usually joyful, can take place that was quite unforeseen, or a decision can be made in a moment that resolves a long period of tension. That is what the Two of Wands in reverse means. You want to continually seek that inner balance so that you're not exploding on the next person that challenges your belief system. That choosing of love and compassion is huge in our inner work. Again, what we're sharing with the world is how we're affecting the world, what we're, how we change this world. Our words, our beliefs, our thoughts are creating our own energy, our frequency, which is going out. We are broadcasting that out into the world. We can't change that. We are energetic beings here. We are frequency sharers. And in doing so, we create our own lives and we create with those that stand near us. And that energy continues on. So, what do you want this world to look like? I'm guessing most of us kind of want the same thing. We want compassion for others. We want peace. We want prosperity for everyone. That is what we need to focus on. And again, this group, the Economicia, is an embodiment of how we can walk through this world. And I believe we are going to be, quote unquote, forced into that, into this sharing of what we have without condition. It's like the sanctuaries for the homeless often are tied to religious organizations. And I believe it was the Salvation Army. You had to listen to someone preaching to you about their beliefs in order to receive what they had for you. That is not how we want to move forward. We want to move forward with love, compassion, and acceptance. And we are the ones that can begin that. The next card that came up from the Druid Craft Tarot is Strength, but it came up in reverse. And this is the understanding that you don't have a clue about your power and your strength and what that brings into the world. You are powerful AF and you are strong AF. And if you keep focusing on your shortcomings, I'm not really enough, I'm not really ready. I have a friend who has studied and gone through that wilderness experience and a shamanistic practice at 3 days out there by themselves with only water and a place to sleep in the woods, and retreat after retreat, and yet they continue to seek, but they're not bringing through. I mean, they are, in a sense, in some of their energy, because one of the things they do is, and I don't want to talk about it because I'm not calling them out. I am just demonstrating that, yeah, I just need to know a little more. I need to be a little more. I need to be better than I am. I need to be more perfect because, then I can share, I can be. It's like, it's never going to happen. You came to be the light in the darkness here, and you are. But your light wants to shine brighter, and that is offering the world what you already have. You don't have to take another class. You don't need to get just a little bit better, a little bit stronger. You may be experiencing difficulty integrating your passionate and instinctual nature, and as a result, you may be feeling weak or a failure. That's what strength in reverse is I'm just not quite enough like I am. I need to be different. I need to walk through this world in a different way. And your focus is not on the possibilities. It is, well, that's not true. My husband and I had this discussion a while ago. He focuses on different possibilities than I do. He's always called me Pollyanna, and I can tell you, Pollyanna is a effing superhero. And he focuses on all the problems, all the bad things that can happen. And that's what he listens to. That's what he brings into his field. And I've railed against that through the years. But here's the truth. He's a problem solver. Problem solvers look for problems. And so I finally have, for the most part, allowed him his truth and not railed against that. I allow him to be who he is because, he's a lovely person, very giving, lovely man. We have a different way of focusing on this world. And so my job is to share my energy of what are the positive possibilities. That's what Pollyanna does. Why is Pollyanna a superhero? Because she takes the situation at hand and she reshapes it into something that is easier to walk through. It's not a spiritual bypass. It's a way to move forward with less resistance and prickliness. That doesn't mean you don't deal with the issue at hand. And in fact, there was someone recently who who backed out of something that we had agreed to do, and did it early enough, did not leave me in a lurch, but then wants to come in and work on another project. Truth is, I feel burned. It's like I can't trust that they will follow through with that project. And so what I need to do is get together and express my truth very lovingly with them as to why I'm not real trusting of them to follow through with it. And also to express a couple other things that are totally for their benefit that I see as to why they chose to not follow through with it. And it is one of those self-defeating things that they are engaging in. And so sometimes as light workers, way showers, we fall into this, everything's wonderful. And okay, well, you quote unquote screwed me over, but I forgive you. And, there's a doormat and a victim and a spiritual bypass. Crappy things happen to all of us, and it is how we choose to deal with them. And if we truly love that person that may have been the catalyst for something not great to happen, letting them off the hook for their behavior is not a good idea for helping them grow. But also the explosion of, reactivity because of what they did, or the beginning of you asserting your truth. I love you, but this is what happened when you did this. And this is what I see and what I saw in the process. Doing it with love helps both of you grow. Will you ever enter into a partnership again? Will I ever enter a partnership again with them? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. But that truth conversation needs to happen for both of us, for healing and for growth on both our paths. So the last card that came in, well, not the last one from the Druidcraft Tarot, the 10 of Swords, and it came in upright. This is a heavy card. This is, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on there that doesn't feel real good. Things may seem at their very worst, and this is where we are in the world right now, but it is precisely at this moment of nadir, which is the change point, that things can only get better. As the winter solstice arrives, night becomes so long and the sun so far away, it seems it may never return. In Druid ceremonies, we extinguish all candles and sit a while in the darkness. Then one candle is lit to symbolize the rebirth of the sun at this darkest of hours, and each participant relights their candle from the one flame. You are that one flame. We are at the nadir of, can things get worse? Yes, and they probably will, because again, Creator's timeline is different than our timeline. A year, 5 years, 10 years to us is a blink of an eye in the age of the universe. So know that things are getting better. We just do not yet see it. We are in the third stage of the birth process, the one that is the most challenging for any woman that did it without pain medication. We are at the precipice. Us holding the higher frequency energy of love, compassion, fearlessness, strength, courage, all of that helps this transition move through just a little easier. That is the power we have here. But the more we focus on fear, powerlessness, angst, all that is happening, we go there, we send our blessings, we physically do what we feel led to do. It could be that you go to an earthquake place, that you go as a place of, as a Red Cross worker. You go in your energy as a light worker, shedding love and peace and comfort on the sufferers. That is the energy we can share, especially, most of us cannot physically go to places. If you are fearful about this government that is in place, and if you are, hating the pieces in play, that is powerlessness, and you're creating more of that. If you send them love, compassion, awareness energy, you are then giving it up to the universe to send that energy for them to filter through themselves, alchemize, and move forward as they are led to. That is you removing the arrogance, thinking that you know better, that there is a better way and you understand it. Because the truth is, none of us really understand all that's taking place right now. And being arrogant enough to decide that what you see happening is wrong is powerlessness in its strongest. It is you deciding that the way things are going is absolutely not the way they're supposed to go. You know a better way. So, what does it all look like for you? You do you. That is the message again in all of this, which we've received over and over the last several months. You taking care of you is the most powerful way you can move forward in this world, continually working to heal the things that come up for you, to see that you're carrying, so that your light shines a little brighter. You're a little less weighty. You get to be more of the way shower that you've wanted to be before you came into this life. So you take responsibility for your own action, moving out of fear into trust, compassion, love, shedding it especially on the things and places and people that cause you the most concern. That is you standing in your power. That is you actually creating a better world as we move forward in this transitional process. Thank you so much for joining me. We are complete on this beautiful spring day. This is a Friday, but whenever you see this, it is the perfect time for you to go inward, do your inner work, connect. I am open, willing, and ready. Guide me. If this is the first time seeing me, please like this video. If you are on my YouTube channel, please subscribe. It costs nothing, but it does help this channel to grow. My desire is to positively impact as many people in this world as I'm capable of impacting while I'm here. You can be a catalyst for that. Thank you so much. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.